Alright, let's look at the homework 5.2, problem number 3. Alright, so we want to use the definition of the integral to evaluate this definite integral here. Alright, so remember that the definition is, so integral is limit sum, so limit as n approaches infinity, and the summation I goes from 1 to n. Then you have f of xi. We can do xi star, but I'm gonna just do the right sum. So x star and delta x. Right. So first we want to find let's see, delta x. So delta x is b minus a. So b is 8. Minus a is 1 over n. So this is 7 over n. Right? And also xi is a, which is 1, plus delta x, 7 over n, times I. Right? Then you have to plug this guy into this function here. So we're gonna get, so I'm gonna go here. We still have a limit as n approaches infinity. Summation I goes from 1 to n. Right? So we have x squared. So we put xi, which is 1 plus 7 over ni squared, minus 4 times 1 plus 7 over ni plus 8, right? Then multiply by delta x, which is 7 over n, right? Then we're going to multiply out, so you have limit sum n approaches infinity, summation I goes from 1 to n, multiply out, so you're going to get the 1 plus 2 times 1, 7, so it's going to be 14 over ni, and then plus square, so 7 squared is 49 over n squared, I squared, and distribute negative 4 to each term. We get negative 4 minus 28 over n I, and then you have plus 8. Right, then all that multiply by 7 over n. Right, then we're gonna collect like terms. So you have a limit as n approaches infinity, right? So we're gonna collect the I squared term. So here we have I squared here, right? So what we do is I'm gonna apply summation to I squared, and I is going to 1 to n, right? Then the constant that we need is this constant here. This is 49 7 squared over n squared. Then we have this guy right here, so distributed. So you have I'm gonna probably write it as 7, right? 7 cubed over n cubed, right? Then you have I term. So here's this guy has I here, this guy has I too. So it's, if you combine positive 14 minus negative 28, so it's a negative 14 over ni. So you have negative, right? 14 times 7, so 14 times 7, 28 and 98. So you have a 98 over, you have n times n, so n squared. Then you have a summation of I. I goes from 1 to n, right? Then we take care of the constant term. So we have plus, we have, let's see, 1 and the negative 4, so that's negative 3. That's 5, right? So 5 times 7 over n is 35 over n, and the summation, so it's a constant, so it's 1. I goes from 1 to n. Right? So we need to take the limit of all this, so I'll put a bracket there. Alright, so we get, alright, so we have a limit as n approaches infinity, right? So we have a 7 cubed over n cubed, right? Then we have I squared, so the formula is n times n plus 1 times 2n plus 1 divided by 6, right? So that's summation of I squared, and a minus 98 over n squared, and the sum of I would be n times n plus 1 over 2, right, plus 35 over n, then sum of 1 would be just n, right? So we have that. Alright, so let's simplify as much as possible. So we can see that here you have n on top, and one of the n cancel out, so this is going to be n squared. Alright, then what else? You have an n here, so that will be just n left over here, and n cancel out there. Right? So what's 7? So 7 times 7 is 49 times 7. 7 times 9 is 63, and 28, so it's 38, so it's 4, right? So what we get here is limit as n approaches infinity, right? So we get, let's see, 343 over 6, right? But here we have, right, so I have n squared on the bottom, so I'm going to use 1 of the n to divide n plus 1. So n divided by n is 1, and 1 divided by n is 1 over n. And the other, using the other n to divide that, so 2n divided by n is 2, plus 1 divided by n is 1 over n, right? So we have that. Then here we do the similar thing, so you have minus, actually 98 and divided by 2, so it's going to be, what is it, 49, right? So you have 49 times n divided by n is 1, and 1 divided by n is 1 over n, and a plus 35, right? So we know where these guys are going. So here this guy goes to 0, and this guy goes to 0, and also this guy goes to 0, right? Then you have multiplied by 2, so 2 and 6 cancel out, so you can cancel that, and that will be 3. Right, so what you get is going to be, limit is going to be 343 over 3 minus was 49 plus 35. So that's going to be 343 over 3, right, minus that's 14, so 14. So 14 times 3 So 12 and 42, so it's a 42 over 3. So which means that the 301 over 3. Right? So this is the value. Right? So let's type it in. Right? You get 301 divided by 3. Right? So let's check the answer. Submit for testing. Alright, it came back and looks like we got this one correctly. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.